All right, we're going to start section 2, understanding numbers. And if you notice on page 7, you see this chart. And once you kind of get going with it, you'll see a pattern. So we're not going to fill out this whole thing right now, but you can see in the standard number column, you simply add a 0 every time, right? In the power of 10 column, you've got 10 to the 0, power is 1. Well, 10 would be 10 to the first, 10 to the second, we'd go 10 to the third, and so on, right? Your exponent increases by 1. Over here, 100, we would go to 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, then billions, then trillions. The big thing that I want to point out, right, so 1 million has 6 zeros. So when you think of million, I want you to think 6 decimal places, because that's what these zeros are. And when you think of billion, we're going to think of 9 decimal places. And when you go ahead and fill this out if you haven't already, and that will allow you to kind of see those. Trillion is 12 decimal places. Those are going to be the three that we use the most. But when it gives you a number in millions, if you need to figure out how many decimal places to move, this basic chart can help you. So I'll let you go ahead and read the bottom of page 7 and answer those questions on your own. Okay, moving on to page 8, I'm just going to go through those questions. Some of them I'll describe and write down, some we'll just talk about. So number 3, the answer is C. And you can read through that, I think, pretty easily. Now, number 4, why might the Brits call 1 billion 1,000 million? Well, remember, a billion is 9 zeros. So this is a billion. Okay, and the Brits call it 1,000 million. Well, if you start with 1,000, okay, so there's 1,000. Well, million is 6 zeros. So if you start with 1,000 and then you go million and add 6 more zeros, hey, check it out. So the Brits call a billion 1,000 million because it's the same thing. It doesn't really matter. Number 5 is kind of similar to that. How many thousands are there in a million? Well, if you write down a million, and you say, okay, well, how many thousands are there? Well, let's go ahead and here's 1,000, right? So if there's 1,000, what do I have left over? Well, I've got this part left over. 3 zeros means 1,000. So there are 1,000 thousands. Because you have 1,000 there and 1,000 there, the number of zeros. Number 6, how many millions are there in a trillion? Well, trillion is 12, whoops, that's supposed to be a 0. 12 zeros. There's 9, there's 12. So how many millions are there in a trillion? Well, a million is 6 zeros. So right here is a million. What do I have left? Well, I've got 6 more zeros. So that I have a million millions. All right, 7 and 8 I think are really, really interesting. So let's go ahead and diagram those. In number 7, that's a little light. Number 7, counting to a million. How long would it take you to count to 1 million if it takes you 1 second to count each number? So if you've got a million seconds, all right, well, we can change seconds to minutes, right? Because we know there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. And don't worry, we will get into conversions at a later date. So in order to find how many minutes, we're going to divide 1 million divided by 60. And we end up with 16,666.66667 minutes. Okay, well, let's change minutes to hours because we know there are 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, so we'll take that number and we'll just hit divide by 60, and now we have 277.777777 hours. Well, I can change hours to, you guessed it, days. There are 24 hours in 1 day. So if I take my answer and divide by 24, I end up with an answer of 11.57 days. So if you want to count to a million, simply one at a time, 1 second per number. And think about it. If you get to 1,432,322, that took me more than a second to say. So, and that's counting 24 hours a day, for 11.57 days without stopping. It's kind of ridiculous. Number 8 is done the same way. I'm not going to draw that one out, but I'll give you the answer. I went out to years on that one, and I ended up with 31.71 years. Years to count to a billion. So, and that's, again, saying 1 second per number. So that's kind of crazy. I think we'll go one more page on this video, and then we'll go video number 2. So, on page number 9, we talk about significant figures. Let me add a picture. All right, so go ahead and read the top of page 9, and then significant figures. So, non-zero digits are significant. So when you're looking at these, with number 1, this has 4 significant digits. This one has 4. This one has 4. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. This one has, okay, so I should write these down. And the reason is because those zeros are in the middle of the numbers. When you look at this one, where am I at? Notice how those zeros, they're at the front and at the back. So this one really only has 2, the 2 and the 5 there. In letter F, because of where it's underlined, the 540, this one has 3. Don't get yourself too worked up about significant digits. It's something that you should be aware of, but it's not like that's not going to haunt you if you're like, these significant digits are confusing me. You need to be able to round, to 2 decimal places or 3 decimal places, and we will work on that throughout the entire semester. But the significant digits is kind of just, it's more of a thought process. So you're just going to want to be aware of the terminology that does exist. All right, so go through that and go ahead and read page 10. Let me end with that. Read page 10. I'm not going to go through any of that in a video. You can read some of those examples, and then I'm going to, we'll create a new video picking up with page 11. So we'll stop there.